All right, welcome back to the 80 Star Basketball Channel, the only star basketball channel that is a star basketball channel. Oh my God, think about that. The cat's out of the bag. So I'm going to discuss three different 101 auctions. I've talked to a few people this week about the Heritage one. I'm going to discuss that. I think there's actually three major auctions, that two that are going on, and one just ended that I want to talk to because I found it interesting because it's kind of supporting my theory that bottom was hit, and and a slight increase maybe, but one data point. I'm not going to sit on one auction and act like it's the game changer by any means. But it was interesting to me, and because it's kind of been on some of the points I've been talking about already, and that's the BGS 8 that ended. Was it? I think it was yesterday. Um, and at was it 8, ended at 8 at night, it looks like. So I found this one particularly interesting, but so we can actually just talk about this first. I want to kind of talk to, again, my thing that I think bottom is hit, and if anything, you're going to see a slow price rise from here. And I know several people who I've been talking to who are starting to look at buying again, and they're actually pursuing as well, which isn't good for me. But there's a certain one I'm actually going after, and I'm trying to get the deal. So I'm actually might move a few things and try and get in, but there's a particular card. I will let you know after. I wanted to be careful. It's kind of funny because as I started this channel, I do realize that sometimes some of my videos after I did one, and if it was specifically on the 288. I remember it was about a year ago, a little, or about 9 months ago, and I did a video on the 288, and next thing you know, 288's all sold. So I was kind of concerned because I'm not one out to say, hey, because I'm getting it, go and buy it. And then I remember I sold a Mavericks bag, and from three people, like, why are you selling a Mavericks bag? And it's like, well, I trying to get, while the if this is up, I want to pursue a 101 so I can move things because I can more easily attain a Mavericks bag again if it's just about price. But finding a particular 101 for my OCD level, for certain things I'm looking for, they just don't come up. Even if there's a bunch for sale, they're either high priced, not auctions, but I'm looking for particular ones. And I know a lot of people are like that. So, that's just something that I'm looking to do right now. Is I think this is kind of a good time to buy, and that's my personal opinion. Don't go out and buy one because I'm buying one. But I do want to tell you, what I'm getting and stuff. But at the same time, I don't want to cause this thing of saying, "Oh, I'm getting it," and then later on, if I trade it for something else, I'll always have a 101. That I'll always have. But other things, I've bought and sold cards for ever now. But I am a star collector, and again, my dream collection would be the entire bag set of everything star, and I would also like uncut sheets too, but that I don't think I can hit. I don't think I can hit. I wanted to make an 83 set and I can't. Anyway, rambling. I'll move on. This BGS 8, low subs compared to the old high subs. This would cross over to probably a 6. So you have edge wear and you have the corners. That alone is going to put this to a 6. You might even get down to a 5 if you get a bad grader kind of thing. That's the bad thing. The market cares about price. This price seemed even a little high to me for what it is, but it's an 8. So, people will buy the grade, not the card. This is a solid, it's for a BGS 8. This is a BGS 8. It's not a bad card. I'm just saying the crossover PSA is tough, tough, tough. So, kind of for the premium of having the 8 on the card, maybe it's about right. But it is actually a slight increase or a little bit more, which kind of, I thought, this would be a bump up from a 6. So you might be seeing that rise in price, possibly. Again, not trying to be like, go out, get one, and they're all rising. This is one data point that's my take on this. But the data is kind of, supporting that. So just looking at that. Real quick, I do want to talk about this PSA 7 right here. This one I really like this PSA 7. I think that's on the scan and not the card, this surface thing right here. But to me, this is there's little touches on corners, maybe a touch right there. Again, I kind of can't tell what the scan is or not. So if these are just, if these are actually just scan things and not actually on the card, which I couldn't see a 7 having these. I don't know. That looks like it's on the card, but they're just tough to tell. But overall, I'm going to just say centering kind of thing, and for just the touches are pretty small. I thought this was a solid 7. It's not like fantastic, great, or anything, but a good solid 7. So I actually think this is much better than there's a golden one that ends in like a year. This one right here that just started. This looks like it has some. To me, I'm actually surprised it's got a 7. But it's okay. But this is puzzling to me as well. I'm looking at 2, and I wanted to talk about this one because it kind of leans into the heritage one that I'll talk about next. But this, overgrading possibly on a card, this seems inconsistent to me. There's a PSA 6s out there that are, in my opinion, way superior to this one. And that inconsistency is very hard. We're all talking about a subjective thing grading, but I don't know. There's too much edge stuff on that to go. The inconsistency and the overgrading it does plague PSA too. And we'll talk about the heritage one. But I did want to point out this 7. This is a huge auction to kind of figure out prices. And I think this will be, I'm guessing that this will end at 40, maybe a hair more. And so this is just watching this one like a hawk, because this will be kind of the data point that really, this is a bellwether card. Is PSA 7 and PSA 6s kind of dictate the market. And because there is, in my opinion, there is less inconsistency with PSA than there is BGS. I know there is inconsistency there, but generally, they grade much tougher. So BGS now is I've seen some things that make zero sense, but there is that with PSA 2. Let's go look at this one. So I'm going to talk about it. I know Tony touched on it, and I'm going to touch on it, and I know people have contacted me and touched on it. So let's touch on it. This card, to me, I could see this getting a 7. This to me is a 7. That's just my personal opinion, maybe a 7.5, but it's kind of surprising. I could see Tony's thing of this being a 6.5, depending on the grader. But I do not see this as an 8.5. Like, it's for people and for everything I've seen on terms of submitting. I've held 9s. So I've held 9s, I've held an 8.5, I've held probably 3 different 8s, probably 15 different 7s. And I've probably held about, I don't know, 26s. I've gone through a lot, especially at the card shows. So I kind of, I'm at this point just going by experience of looking at these in person. Online is hard, and I have to give it to that. But from what I'm understanding, the heritage people are saying this is a print issue. This line here and this here. This just looks like edgeware to me. It looks like standard chipping, kind of on the card, because, it's inconsistent. It goes across, but, if it was print, why would it be in the red? It's inconsistent. A print line, you get some print lines, but like here, this is a standard print thing right here. You get a bleed down. This one right here, it just, I don't know. They said that this is a print as well. That kind of looks like it could be a scratch. I don't know, but I'm 50-50 on that. I don't know, and without the card in hand and magnifying, but I'll tell you that doesn't look good regardless. It doesn't matter even if it is a print, if it's not a print. That's still a pretty big defect, and that just looks like chipping. So it doesn't matter actually if it is print or not print. These are two defects that are visible on the card that everyone can see and everyone has noticed. And for it to be an 8.5 is rather surprising. So, in PSA, they went over the PSA standards, and, I'm sure Heritage doesn't agree with my opinion on this because, they're obviously selling it and whoever the seller is. But, I just have to say that this one is going to be an interesting ending because I think that regardless of that, even looking at this going, okay, that does not look like an 8.5, it's going to be interesting to see if it actually affects the price. I know it's going to deter a few buyers, but which, you would think would affect the price. But there's people out there with money that don't care about your opinion and they will buy the grade, not the card. So if they want to see that 101 in a PSA 8.5, this is it. They don't come up much either. So you can take all your logic and everything and kind of throw it out the window. That can happen. And if you get two people that are thinking that, they can bid high. So anything can happen, but this is my take on this card. It is a phenomenal card. Don't get me wrong. This is a hell of a copy. Centering wise, everything. I mean, it's a beaut, but is it an 8.5? In my opinion, it is not. So I did want to touch upon that. And I know that, again, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. So, comments, usually I don't ask for comments, but yeah, I'd like to hear what you people think on this one. Is that, and I also want to hear about the PSA 7 I pointed out. What do you guys think of this? Um, this one to me, it's almost kind of like I would rather have this card and pay for it. This to me actually has like less damage. Uh, you know, that's kind of my take. I'm as you know, I don't mind the centering on this cards because they all are, but I like minty cards, and to me, it's just visible. So that's kind of what I'm going by. Anyway, give me your takes and enjoy the 3-day weekend, and I'll see you at the next video.